He survived the Alaskan wilderness, but he couldn't survive the courtroom. Joshua Bam Bam Brown, once the strong, silent heart of Alaskan Bush people, has just been sentenced. And this isn't just a fine or a slap on the wrist. This is forever. What went wrong? And why could this mean the end of everything he built? You're about to find out. At the center of this storm are two siblings, Joshua Bam Bam Brown and Rain Brown. Once beloved for their quiet strength and youthful spirit, both have now faced the cold judgment of the justice system. Their downfall has left fans stunned, and it has raised haunting questions about what went wrong behind the scenes of reality TV's most rugged family. Joshua was the second oldest son of Billy and Amy Brown. He grew up tracking wildlife and building shelters in the unforgiving Alaskan wilderness. Known for his cool-headed approach and deep loyalty to family, Joshua quickly became a fan favorite. But while the cameras portrayed a resilient bushman, the truth off-screen was far more complicated. Behind the wilderness narrative was a financial controversy waiting to erupt. Alaska's Permanent Fund Dividend Program provides annual payments to residents based on the state's oil revenues. To qualify, recipients must live in Alaska year-round. But investigators discovered that between 2009 and 2012, multiple members of the Brown family, including Joshua, had spent more than half of each year outside the state. Joshua had personally signed off on multiple dividend applications during those years, claiming full-time residency in Alaska. But travel records, financial statements, and even the family's own television footage told a different story. The Browns had been filming in states like Washington and California during the same periods they claimed to be in Alaska. State prosecutors argued that this wasn't a misunderstanding, it was deliberate fraud. Joshua had received over $8,000 in state payments he wasn't entitled to. Though the amount seemed small next to the family's TV income, the case wasn't about money. It was about trust, accountability, and integrity. When Joshua entered the courthouse in 2016, the transformation was jarring. The man who had faced bears and built log cabins now stood in a formal suit, facing a judge. The prosecution laid out the evidence: false residency claims, misused state resources, and a pattern of deception. His defense team argued that Joshua had been raised in isolation and acted under the direction of his father, Billy. In court, Joshua remained calm. He spoke of Alaska as his true home, a place of the heart more than paperwork. But emotional sentiment couldn't overcome hard evidence. The judge declared him guilty. The sentence was immediate and clear: 30 days in jail, to be served in full. He was fined over $10,000, including the repayment of stolen funds, and ordered to complete 40 hours of community service. But the harshest blow came next. Joshua was permanently banned from receiving Alaska's annual oil dividend. That punishment, rare and severe, would follow him for the rest of his life. To the Brown family, this wasn't just a legal punishment. It was an identity crisis. The very system they had depended on was now denying them recognition as true Alaskans. Back at Browntown, the effects were immediate. With Joshua gone and Billy entangled in his own legal troubles, the family's carefully balanced lifestyle began to unravel. The boat failed. The generator stopped working. Repairs went undone. The wilderness that once empowered them now threatened to swallow them whole. Emotionally, the family splintered. Joshua had always been the calm center. Without him, tensions rose. Bear grew short-tempered, Noah took on too much, and even Amy, battling health issues, began to show signs of deep emotional strain. Meanwhile, another storm was brewing, one that would expose even deeper fractures in the family. Rain Brown, the youngest sibling, was once seen as the light of the family. Energetic, artistic, and emotionally sensitive, she connected with viewers who saw a free spirit trying to make sense of a harsh world. But by 2025, that image had shattered. Rain and her husband Josiah were arrested on charges of burglary, trespassing, and malicious mischief. The news rocked the fan base, but the story that followed would divide them even more. After spending 3 days in jail, Rain was released without bail. Instead of denying the charges or apologizing, she posted a lengthy and emotional message on Instagram. She accused her former manager, someone she had once trusted with her finances and career, of betrayal and theft. According to Rain, that manager had stolen $43,000 from her and framed her for the crimes now attached to her name. Rain's words were raw and emotional. She spoke of being manipulated, used, and set up during one of the darkest periods of her life. She quoted scripture. She begged her fans to wait for the truth. Some believed her. They pointed to the grief she had suffered after her father's death and the unstable environment she grew up in. They saw a young woman lost in the chaos of fame, family pressure, and emotional trauma. But others weren't so convinced. Just months before her arrest, Rain's brother Noah and his wife had filed for a protective order against her. In court documents, they accused Rain of violent threats, drug use, and even offering cocaine to their mother. They described her as volatile and unpredictable. One incident alleged Rain threatened to kill a horse herself rather than accept help. Another claimed she told Noah she wished he were dead and had a gun in her room. Though the court denied the protective order, citing lack of immediate evidence, the accusations painted a disturbing portrait. To some fans, these claims gave new context to her criminal charges. Maybe Rain wasn't being framed. Maybe she was simply spiraling out of control. Rain responded with more defiance. She refused to conform to anyone's expectations of perfection. She called out the double standards of fame and the pressure to appear flawless. She hinted at untold truths, promising that one day she might share everything. But in the end, the legal system had the final word. Rain Brown was sentenced. Whether by plea deal or official conviction, the outcome was the same. Her guilt was confirmed, her image forever changed. The consequences went far beyond courtrooms. The network quietly distanced itself. Her role on Alaskan Bush People ended, and the fan base that once adored her now split. Some mourning the loss of the girl they thought they knew, others feeling vindicated in their skepticism. The Brown family now faces an uncertain future. Joshua is barred from Alaska's most symbolic benefit. Rain's public image is in ruins. Billy has passed. Amy's health is fragile, and the rest of the siblings struggle to keep the dream alive. For years, the Browns represented the idea that a simple, faith-driven life could withstand anything. Blizzards, isolation, even fame. But today, they face challenges far more destructive than nature itself. Betrayal, legal ruin, and the deep, painful cracks of family division. Their story isn't just about survival anymore. It's about identity, redemption, and whether anything, even a legacy built on wilderness, can survive the weight of reality. Only time will tell whether the Browns can rebuild from the inside out, whether Rain finds healing, whether Joshua regains a sense of purpose, and whether the name Brown still stands for something worth believing in. Because when the wilderness is no longer your enemy, and your battles are fought in courtrooms, headlines, and hearts, survival takes on a whole new meaning. Don't forget to like this video if you found it eye-opening, share it with other fans of Alaskan Bush People, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the real stories behind reality TV. Thanks for watching.